Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Last video I did a flight from Humberside Airport to the Humber Bridge. I told you a little bit through the about the area and eventually took you down to Lincoln to see Lincoln Cathedral, which are two of the more obscure landmarks that were added on the World Update to the UK. And a lot of you probably thought I was flying from Humberside Airport because, of course, it is the closest airport to the Humber Bridge, and indeed you'd be right in thinking that. But actually, one of the reasons I like to fly from Humberside and frequently do is because it actually holds a bit of a historical significance to me as well. And that's because my father was a rear gunner in Lancaster Bombers during the Second World War. And he flew from an airbase called RAF Kirmington, and RAF Kirmington is today Humberside Airport, which is exactly what you're looking at the moment. The squadron was 166 Squadron. It flew Lancasters and it flew Wellingtons, or the Wimpy, I think, as he used to call it, and as I say, they flew from this very location, and I fly from here because I think it's one of the most beautiful things about Microsoft Flight Simulator, that you can literally see the very fields that my father would have seen as he took off in those Lancasters during the Second World War. Yeah, I'm sure the airport looks different. Yeah, I'm sure the farms look different, and so on. But we probably won't be too far off. So I've started up. It's been a little while since I flew the Cessna, actually.
X-ray Golf 001 taxi to and hold short of runway 20 using taxiway Bravo. Contact tower on 119.13 when ready.
So I just set myself a little reminder that we're taking off the flight. Runway 20, I-200 degrees, and that's nice and handy actually, because we need to take a bearing of 234 if I'm going to take you where I'm going to take you today. Which begs the question, where is that? By the way, I'm going to be really lazy and taxi straight through this fuel station here. Where are we? Heading north. So yes, as I say, that begs the question, where are we going today? And I'm going to give you a little tour of the RAF history around here. Which says, if I can find my way to runway 20. Because RAF Kirmington was not the only Second World War base around here, and in fact, if you're into your kind of aviation history, there are loads and loads of air bases, or airstrips rather, around this area, around North Lincolnshire, that hold great historical significance when it comes to both bomber and fighter command in the Second World War. So here we are, just holding at runway 20. I've got a few more checks to do. As I say, it's been a little bit of a while since I flew the Cessna, so just make sure I know what I'm doing. Strobe is already on. So we're going to take a bearing of 234, as I say. That's going to take us to Hibblestow. I think it's called Hibblestow Airstrip, which today is a skydiving station. From there, we will head to Kirtland-in-Lindsey, which today is a glider base. And they're all within 10 minutes flight time in a Cessna. I actually wanted to show you perhaps the most historic airfield in this area, and I'll talk about that in a moment. So let's just clear ourselves for takeoff. Don't see any other traffic around, so it should be nice and easy. Again, flying at dawn on the East Coast.
Runway 20 departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 20 X-ray Golf 001.
Start squawking while I'm airborne. So we're nicely at the end of the runway here, so this should be nice and easy. You'll see me struggle again with my paddle for the rudders. But just for the record, I still get airborne, so as I say, you don't need to spend a massive fortune on rudder pedals and so on and so forth. So here we go, full power, heading 200. We want a heading 23, which for us is pretty much straight out. 50 knots, goes up. Okay, here we go. Get this into trim. We're not going to carry much altitude, clearly, as I want to be able to see where I'm going. Just clear the airfield and then we'll take that bearing 23. So we are slow right turns 23, we'll just head straight out. More or less full power here, just getting a little bit of height, but as I say, I don't need too much. If I had engine failure right now, I've got plenty of places I can turn into. The beauty of North Lincolnshire is that it is incredibly flat, and I fully anticipate that is exactly why the RAF flew from here. So as I say, 2-3, I'm going to try and hold nice straight and level here, pretty much holding 2-3, it's actually 2-3-4 at one time, to come slightly more right. It's about 7 minutes flight time, which as you can see will take me nicely to 7 AM on the clock. Those of you ever wonder why there's a random clock, that's exactly why. It's for nav purposes. And I think I said in my last video, it's one of the joys of VFR is just completely getting lost and having absolutely no idea where you are. So heading 2-3-4, we're expecting 7 minutes. That's going to take us to Humberside. I might do a touch and go there. There won't be a radio frequency, of course, it being a very light airfield for purposes of skydiving, but we'll see. But as I say, I was then going to go to Curtin and Lindsay, which is a glider strip today, and just watch this first on speed. And then eventually, what I really wanted to do was take you to the most historic airfield around here, which is RAF Scampton. Probably again, I would guess within 10 to 15 minutes flight time in this Cessna. And when I went on the world map to plan my journey, you know, to make sure what my headings were going to have to be, flight time and so on, what I didn't count on was RAF Scampton not being there. Indeed it wasn't, it just wasn't there. I've no idea why. RAF Waddington is there, RAF Cranwell was there, some significantly smaller glider airstrips, as I say, are there, but RAF Scampton was not, which I find a real shame, because RAF Scampton is, as I say, the most historic location around here, and that is, of course, it was the home of 617 Squadron, which you will better know as the Dambusters. And I think it's a real shame that you can't take off as if you are the Dambusters. And as I say, that's only probably about 15 minutes south of here, I would guess, give or take. The infrastructure that existed during the Dambusters raid is largely still there. The buildings look exactly the same. The runway will look exactly the same. The station actually became a V-bomber station shortly afterwards. The Vulcan flew from there, for example. So as I say, actually, you know, a fantastic airstrip with loads of rich history. And a real shame, actually, that you know, you can't fly from there. So, truth be told, right at the moment, I'm a little bit lost. Just for the record, I've never actually done this flight before. This is the first time I'm doing it with you. And as I say, one of the beauties of VFR is just this. You have no idea where you are. You get completely lost. There is an airstrip looking place of sorts over here to my left. Hard to say if that's Humberside, although it clearly does look like it. I'll know when I've flown too far. And I'll know I've flown too far because I'll head over a main road, which will be A15, which I think I said in my last video is the main north-south route between North and South Lincolnshire. Again, nice kind of east-west barrier that you can use. About 1,500 feet. Do my best to talk to you, look around, and keep straight and level, which is always entertaining as I cock it up. This is not a road beneath me, it's a canal, I'm not sure, or a river perhaps, I'm not sure which it is. Again, I should have probably paid more attention when looking up this area. I was expecting, like I say, for this to take me to the hour to get, I think I said, roughly 7 minutes flight time. And that could well be Humberside. So in fact, let's go and have a look. Soon find out really. It does look like a small airstrip, which is exactly what I said it would be. And do you know what? I know it's not Humberside, and the reason I know that is because it's got one runway. Oh, actually, I think Humberside only does have one runway. And it is tarmacked, it's concrete. Whereas Kirtland and Lindsay, where we're going to next, I think is, like I say, glider field, grass only. So well, let's just have a closer look at this. And I don't believe that is, although could well be one of the very many RAF airstrips that once was around here. So let's continue with the heading we were on, which is to say it was around 234.
Cessna Yankee Foxtrot Delta exit runway when able.
Let's hopefully pick up where we left off. So as I say, I am looking for concrete airstrip. I need to remind myself it has more than one. That would be a good point of reference for me. And you know, these airstrips are really small. I don't know if anyone's actually tried the nav exercises on Microsoft Flight Sim. I haven't. I find them a bit too long. But this is the kind of feeling that is meant to kind of deliver. This feeling of actually just trying to figure out exactly where you are. If you had an aviation map, of course, that would be really useful. You can actually buy old ones, which plenty fine for the purposes of Microsoft Flight Sim. You can buy old ones on eBay, you know, old me boards, which adds a degree of realism, I guess, to the game. I haven't made that jump yet, although I have googled it from time to time.
Humberside ground, Cessna Papa Hotel, Yankee Foxtrot Delta taxi to parking.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep an eye out.
Cessna Papa Hotel, Yankee Foxtrot Delta taxi to general aviation parking.
Where this place could be.
Runway 20 Alpha Delta.
So here we are, coming up to the hour. I know I lost probably a minute or two of flight time there as I kind of circled around that field to see what it was.
Taxiing to general aviation
but we would expect.
Cross runway 20 Alpha Delta Cessna Yankee Foxtrot Delta.
And this looks more like it. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. So as I say, Humberside Airfield, North Lincolnshire, about 10 minutes from Humberside Airport. Can take powered aircraft, does take powered aircraft, and routinely would do skydiving. And yeah, this will be it. As I say, concrete runway. I did have a feeling it had more than one. I didn't do my research before taking off, which I really should have done. I mean, you could even tell from the world map. You didn't have to Google it or anything. That's how lazy I was when I came out here today. Now, RAF Humberside, this used to be, was I believe a fighter command base, and it had Bristol Beaufighters, which was a dual-engined dual engine multi-role aircraft. I believe it saw a bit of night flying as well, and was one of the night fighters. Would love to see some comments on that, you know, in the comment section below. As I say, this whole area is very busy. Humberside Airport, which used to be RAF Kirmington, as I say, was a Lancaster and Wellington base, and my father was based there in 166 Squadron. And he used to tell me that in this area, one of the nav points that they would use was the orange molten glow of steel at the Scunthorpe Steelworks, which is still there today. And he used to say, you know, you could see it from miles and miles and miles around at night. Was this, you know, warm orange glow, and you know, he used to say that's what you would look for when coming home. Once you saw that glow, once you could see it on the horizon, he knew that he was going to get home safely. So as you can see, this is actually quite a fairly big airstrip for what is today a tiny little, you know, relatively modest existence as a skydive base. But as you can see here, and I totally didn't appreciate this is actually a fairly big base. What's my heading at the moment? It is east, and I didn't say there's a north-south road, and I think I'm flying over it at the moment, possibly. So we're going to do one more loop round, and then we're going to take a heading on the round 2 again. I don't want the Vietnam map or my navlog. Humberside Airfield. And then we want to take 226 from here. So we're going to go 226, as you saw there for my navlog, and we're going to try and hit our Curtin and Lindsay, or apologies, what is today Curtin and Lindsay glider airstrip. So what did I say? 226 was that? So here we are, 21, 22, 225, and it's not very far. Once I fly over the A15, we're pretty much there. So that could well be. You can see this stretch of straight trees around here. That could well be it. It is a glider airfield, as I say, and it is grass. So we're not looking for concrete this time. We are looking for a grass airfield, and I mean, look at that! As if by magic, there is. And you can almost picture, you know, how busy this airspace will have been during the Second World War. So, as I say, Humberside, RAF Kirmington, Humberside Airport, it used to be RAF Kirmington, Lancasters, and Wellingtons. You had Bristol boat fighters, Hibblestow, which is now behind me. Today, that is a skydiving base. And Curtin and Lindsay, which is where we're headed now. Curtin and Lindsay, which is where we're headed now, is was a fighter command airbase, and it had a wide selection. We're going to do a right back here and fly left round it. It had a wide selection of Spitfires and Hurricanes, and you know those memories that you and I have of, you know, the Battle of Britain film, as the bells ring to scramble the fighters, and you know they run out across the grass, and the Spitfires and Hurricanes take off from the grass. I mean, you are now looking at that right here, and you can almost picture it. And now I don't have a Spitfire mod for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't believe it's been released yet, although I do think there is one in development that will hit the marketplace. And when that's released, I will give that a go. I do play DCS on the side actually. I don't do much air combat within it. I don't really have the time to perfect it. And as you can see from my jolty look around actions, I don't have any head tracking, which for dogfighting is a must. But what I do in DCS is fly the Spitfire. And it's a fantastic aircraft to fly. It was a light aircraft out there, which is not unusual for a glider base. It is a beautiful aircraft to fly if a bit difficult. And so when it's released, I will get it from Microsoft Flight Sim and give it a go. So we're actually we're going to end our flight here. As I say, I really wanted to take you to the most historic airfield of all around here, and that is what is today RAF Scampton. And it is a real shame. As I say, home of 617 Squadron, which was the Dambusters, of course. The airfield then became a V bomber base. It was home to the Vulcan bomber, which is a beautifully magnificent machine. It actually returned to the skies probably about 10-15 years ago. I used to work, in fact, at the time I was an air traffic controller, I used to work very closely with the teams that were flying that. And today actually is the home of the Red Arrows. So if you're ever in this area, and I was actually only here not that long ago, if you're ever in this area, point your car south, and in this kind of weather, there's every chance you're going to see the Red Arrows perform and practice. It is such a great thing to see. Incidentally, this village beneath me is Curtin-in-Lindsey itself. It became an army base after the Second World War, and I believe today is home to a small RAF contingent. It used to be home to one air control centre, which was the kind of mobile air command centre, if you like, that would be deployed on operations. I'm going to lose some higher speed here. I'm going to take to that grass runway. Should probably tow. If it has one,
Romeo Tango Papa, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
I should tune into its radio in case someone does happen to be here.
Humberside ground generic golf. Papa Whiskey uniform requesting pushback.
So what? It'd be runway 15.
Humberside Tower Cessna Golf. Yankee Romeo Tango Papa frequency change. Generic golf. Papa Whiskey uniform. Pushback request accepted.
So just drop the speed and
Humberside approach Cessna Golf. Yankee Romeo Tango Papa is type Cessna Skyhawk 5 miles west of Humberside. Request flight following. Humberside ground generic golf.
so RAF Scampton, as I say, home of the Red Arrows today at 617, but used to be home of 617 Squadron. 617 Squadron is no longer there, but is in existence. I don't know if it continued. I don't think it did. I think it was stood up again. But it flew Tornado GR4s, I think, from RAF Farm. I actually don't think the I need to tune into oh gosh. One thing I really can't stand about Microsoft Flight Sim is that you can't just tune your radio at will. Here we go. I think it must be, it's 1-2. I think it was like 1-5 perhaps.
Echo Golf Kilo, X-ray traffic, X-ray Golf 001 is on final runway 12 to land.
I think, like I say, 617 Squadron was actually stood up again. I don't think it continued. Sorry, I just get my bearings so I know where the hell I am. And today I'm fairly sure flies the F-35 Lightning, I think. Again, someone might want to validate that and make sure I'm correct. So apologies that I'm losing my train of thought there. I was just, the thing is with the grass airfield, it's very easy to get disorientated. I knew I'd sort of done a small circuit, but as I say, as I was talking, I lost sight of the airfield, and therefore got mistaken as to which field it was in. So you can almost, like, this would be an approach, final approach for many a Spitfire or Hurricane. They would do coastal combat air patrols out of this station. So this is, you know, this is real. This was a real place, a real experience for many a Spitfire Hurricane propeller. And as I say, you can picture it, can't you? You can sort of, I'd love to take a screenshot right here and sort of computer generate Spitfires and so on around here. Having a bit of speed. It's going to be a long landing, which is not what I wanted. There you have it. As I say, this is exactly what fighter pilots would have seen. They would have landed in much the same way. I'm curious to understand how this looks in the Second War. I'm sure it didn't have a pumpkin field there. I'm curious as to where the crew rooms would have been and so on. But there you have it, guys. I hope that was vaguely interesting. As I say, if you're an aviation geek and you're into your aviation history, come and visit the area, come and check it out, and there are more than one airstrip around here, I'm sure, with plenty of history. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you soon.